Hi everyone, I'm the Lloyd, and this channel is all about helping you improve your HomeKit smart home. I don't know about you, but when Eve announced an all-new outdoor cam during January's CES event, I was pretty excited for a lot of reasons. Eve has been incredibly busy the last couple of years as they continue to update their existing product lineup to Thread, but now we're seeing new products as well, like Eve Motion Blinds and now Eve Outdoor Cam. There's often hesitation when it comes to privacy and cameras. That's another reason why I'm excited to see a new outdoor camera by Eve. Like Eve Cam for indoors, it works with HomeKit Secure video, so your footage is analyzed locally. There's no Eve registration or Eve Cloud, just HomeKit Secure video. I'll talk more about this soon. Eve Outdoor Cam is designed to replace existing outdoor lights, so in theory at least, installation should be simple since you already have the necessary wiring in place. Now, I did have a couple of roadblocks with my installation based on my setup, which I'll share. There's some really cool features of this camera, so in this video, I'm going to show you how my installation went, and go over all the features of the camera, show you how I'm using it, including some automations that I've set up, and hopefully by the end, help you decide if Eve Outdoor Cam belongs in your HomeKit smart home. Okay, let's start by talking about some of the features and specs of Eve Outdoor Cam. This is sort of like 3 HomeKit accessories in one. First, the camera, which supports 1080p full high definition video at 24 frames per second. This is the maximum resolution of HomeKit Secure video. 2K or 4K would be nice, but likely unnecessary for most people, and again, 1080p is the highest resolution supported by HomeKit Secure video. It has a 157-degree field of view with infrared night vision, there's a mic and speaker for two-way communication, and has a 3-axis camera angle adjustment so you can get the right recording angle. It's not just a camera though, but a very bright floodlight, which includes a feature Eve calls Light Boost for a temporary boost of additional light. Lastly, it's a motion sensor. But unlike many outdoor motion sensors that you may see in other cameras that are pixel-based, Eve Outdoor Cam includes a much more accurate infrared motion sensor that can be used to trigger other HomeKit automations. Eve Outdoor Cam is IP55 certified, which means it's protected from dust and water jets from any direction, and it communicates using the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi band. If you're wondering why Eve, the leader in Thread accessories, chose Wi-Fi over Thread, it's important to note that Thread is intended for low bandwidth communication, not for streaming HD video. I also expect there'll be some out there disappointed that there isn't a 5 GHz compatibility, but 2.4 GHz has better range and it's more than enough for streaming 1080p video. Since this is being installed outdoors though, you will want to make sure that you have good Wi-Fi coverage where you want to install Eve Outdoor Cam. Make sure to test this out before purchasing. If you run into issues, you may want to consider moving your router or an access point if you have a mesh system. Since this is likely being installed on one of your exterior walls, most people I expect won't have any issues. The operating temperature for this device is between -20 and +45 degrees Celsius. Where I live, we will get occasional days below -20, though it is pretty rare, so it's not something I'm worried about. I, of course, will test this out next winter, so follow me on Insta or Twitter for updates on different products. You can find the links to my social channels in the description. Okay, let's check out what you get in the box. As you would expect, it comes with instructions to help you install Eve Outdoor Cam. It comes with Eve video surveillance stickers to let visitors know they may be recorded. There's a mounting plate and cover, a mounting bracket with some connection terminals and an Allen key, and last but not least, the camera, which has a good weight to it. It feels solid and well made. The instructions walk you step by step through the installation process, and Eve also has a really great installation video that I recommend you watch as well. The problem is not everyone's wiring is the same. I originally thought it would replace my front entrance light, but I ran into some issues. First, the holes in the mounting brackets didn't line up, and I was able to fix that, though because the electrical box wasn't flush to the stone, it stuck out and it didn't look good at all. I currently have a Logitech Circle View doorbell, so having a camera here wasn't essential, though I do think it would look great here, so I am considering hiring an electrician for the future. For the purpose of this video though, I ended up installing this at the back of my house, which is a really useful location since I currently don't have any outdoor cameras back here. The existing light box at the back of my house was definitely easier and more flush to the wall. It's a very tight space though, so fitting the wires and connecting everything was challenging, but certainly doable with some patience. I also found that the wire connectors that came with the unit didn't work with my wiring, so I just used some Mark connectors, which worked fine once I was finally able to tuck them back into the casing. Once fully installed, I added some caulk to fill in some small gaps to ensure a proper seal. Depending on your setup, installation may be much easier or perhaps more difficult. I think this goes without saying, but make sure that you cut the power before doing any electrical work and get help if you're uncomfortable. It's totally worth hiring an expert to get the job done right and to be safe. Once physically installed, the setup in HomeKit is simple. You can do this through the Home app or the Eve app. I use the Eve app since I want to be sure I had the latest firmware updated once the device was installed. This is important to make sure that you're getting access to all the features of the camera and to ensure reliability. I've talked a lot about the Eve app in the past. It's a great free app that allows for some more advanced automations, and it can also give us some additional settings and details for our Eve devices. So let's jump into the Eve app, then we'll look at the Home app. First, I can see the motion status as well as a history of when motion has been detected. I can also turn the light on or off from here and control the brightness. You can see here I have mine at 100%, but I have the option to go even higher in boost mode. Then I can see my camera stream with the option to pause it. You can also click the home icon on the bottom left of the recording, which takes you into the Home app. This is probably a good time to talk about HomeKit Secure Video, which if you're not familiar with, it's an included iCloud Plus feature that gives you access to stream and view video recordings. The video is analyzed locally using the power of your home hub, such as an Apple TV or a HomePod. Recordings are saved for 10 days, though they can be downloaded permanently if there's a clip that you want to keep. Recordings are triggered based on motion, animals, people, or packages. With people, faces are analyzed based on your iCloud photos so you can see who's being recorded, which is helpful for both notifications as well as when skimming through your recording timeline. The number of HomeKit Secure video cameras that you can add depends on your iCloud Plus plan, with the 50GB plan giving you a single camera, 200GB gives you up to 5 cameras, and the 2TB plan gives you unlimited cameras. Worth mentioning here, the HomeKit Secure video storage doesn't count against your iCloud storage. Here are some of the costs for iCloud Plus. For a full list of countries, I'll put a link in the description. Now let's go into the Home app. In the settings, you can choose to have the floodlight as a separate tile or grouped together with the camera. Personally, I find it easier to keep it separate. Under notifications, you can choose whether you want to be notified of things like the camera going offline or when the recording status is changed, but more importantly are activity notifications. You can have this on all the time, or perhaps just at certain times, or maybe when someone isn't home. It's totally up to you. Then you can choose what events you want to be notified of. For example, maybe you don't want to be notified every time a squirrel or bird goes past your yard, so you could turn off animal notifications. You can also turn night vision on or off from here, and here's where you can adjust your streaming and recording options. You have options for home or away, and choose to stream only or stream and record. You can also turn the recordings off, but still detect activity for notifications that you may have set up. Under more options, you can choose when to record, when any motion is detected, or just particular motion like from people or animals. You can also choose if you want to record the audio or not. It's very possible that you don't want notifications or recordings triggered based on all of the viewing area, so you can create activity zones. Since I'm using this in my backyard, I don't need to record every time my neighbors are walking in their backyard, so this is a really handy feature. If you are placing this at the front of your house, then you may also want to set this up so cars driving by or people walking on the sidewalk aren't detected. For those new to HomeKit Secure Video, I also want to point out that under the home settings, you can customize access for your family members. For example, both my wife and I can stream and view recordings, but our kids can stream only. So overall, how well does Eve Outdoor Cam work? I've had a couple of weeks to test this camera out and I've been very happy. Most importantly for me, it stayed online and it's been fully responsive. The camera quality is impressive, it's bright with good contrast, and it accurately detects people. Here's the picture during the day, the view at night with the light at 100%. This is at night with boost mode. You can really see the difference in some of the fine details, like in some of the plant leaves. And here it is again at night using just the infrared night vision. There's also two-way audio, which can be helpful if you need to talk to someone outside. For my use, it's usually talking to my family if someone's outside and I just need to get their attention, though this could be really useful if you've installed this at the front of your home, maybe instead of a doorbell. Imagine perhaps that someone comes to your door when you're not home. You will receive a notification and you can talk to a visitor or delivery person. It's simple to do just by pressing the talk button on the screen. Hey Ashlyn, have you finished your homework yet? Hi Ashlyn, have you finished your homework yet?
you finished your homework yet?
Yeah.
You can hear yourself talking a little, which can be distracting, but for the amount of time that you'll be spending talking through the camera, I don't think it's significant. The sound is clear and plenty loud enough in my opinion. As mentioned earlier, the light is very bright. I don't have an instrument to test the light temperature, but I would guess it's around a 5,000 to 6,000 Kelvin, a very nice bright daylight color. As a floodlight, it's directional, though it has good coverage. The boost setting gets even brighter as you can see here. This only lasts 20 seconds as it causes extra heat, though it can be reactivated seconds later once it's had time to cool down. The motion sensor has a range of 9 meters and a detection angle of 100 degrees. That's based on a mounting height of 2.5 meters. Like Eve Motion, which uses Bluetooth and can be used indoors or outdoors by the way, you can adjust the motion sensitivity between low, medium, and high. I've left mine at medium and it's worked well, but feel free to play around with the sensitivity level that's right for you. The duration is the timeout period, so the length of time that motion will be reported as motion. You'll want this to be less than the duration that the light stays on after motion is detected, otherwise the light could suddenly turn off on you when you're outside having a conversation with someone. By default, the floodlight will turn on when motion is detected at night, though you can change this to always on or off if you only want to use the camera and not the light. You can also customize the duration and the brightness, including the 20-second light boost. So what type of automations are possible? If you have other smart outdoor lights, then you may choose to turn them on as well when motion is detected. I have this set up so when motion is detected, my front lights, which are connected to a Lutron Caseta switch, also turn on. I also have an automation that turns E-flare green when motion is detected to provide a visual alert from inside. E-flare remains one of my favorite HomeKit devices. It's so simple, but I just love the way it looks, and best of all, it's portable so I can move it around the house and even take it outside. Apparently there will eventually be a thread-enabled E-flare. I'm not sure when, but I can't wait. Okay, got carried away talking about E-flare there. Back to the camera. You can add a visual alert like this from any HomeKit light. This could especially be helpful if you've installed the camera at your front door, so you have another light in the house turn on as an extra way to let you know that someone was at the front door. I would love it if you could create custom automations based on a particular person being detected, or even events like package detection. This is a limitation of HomeKit, not Eve. Perhaps one day this will be a reality. I really don't have much to complain about here. This is such a great camera. My biggest challenge was certainly just getting it installed, but again, based on your setup, it may be easier for you than it was for me. The backyard is away from the street with less light, so I find it comforting to see what's going on in our backyard, even when I'm away from home. And having the floodlight to scare away potentially unwanted people is also nice. Performance-wise, it's been great, though admittedly, it's only been a couple of weeks. So far, I've achieved the level of performance that I expect from Eve. The style is very simple and I love how it looks. Eve Cam currently sells for $329.95 Canadian, or $249.95 US. It's available on the Eve online store, as well as Amazon.ca, but not currently Amazon.com. Of course, that may change, so be sure to check the links in the description. It's a hefty price, but when you factor in everything it offers, it feels about right for what you're getting. The camera's heavy duty and is meant to handle the elements. Remember, you're not just getting a HomeKit Secure video camera, but a floodlight and a motion sensor. Let me know your thoughts though. Is this something you would consider adding to your HomeKit smart home? Are there any features that are missing that you wish were included? As always, I'm interested in your opinions, and I like to hear what automation ideas you may have, so drop me a comment. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.